Hello, everyone, and welcome to our podcast, Live from Our Angles. We are sitting here on a beautiful sunny day, and we're ready to have a good time, get to know us, and we're excited to share what our lives have been up to.
Hello, everyone. My name is Amanda. I am 24 years old, and I am in the stage of getting ready to settle down in life.
Hello, everyone. I am Alex. I am 22 years old, and I just graduated with my master's about a couple months ago in May. So I am just trying to find myself post school life.
Hi, everyone. My name is Adiana, but everyone calls me Adi. I am 18 years old, and I just graduated from high school, so I am getting ready to attend college and move out on my own.
Hello, everyone. I'm Nina. I'm 17. I'm entering my junior year of high school. That's really it. And on the dance team. Yeah.
Love it. I guess we can talk about how we know each other. We're cousins.
Yeah.
So Amanda and Nina
We're sisters.
are sisters.
Alex and Adi.
Our sisters.
Our fathers.
Our brothers.
That's all you need to know.
all
we
you need to know.
we spent so much time growing up, right? I mean, like, what are some memories you'll have of us being little?
Every single weekend together, we always had Sunday brunches as a big family. So that was always what I looked forward to each week.
Yeah.
That was fun.
How far apart are we in age? Like all of us?
So how old are you again?
We're
Me and Amanda are 3 years apart
Yeah.
Alex
because she's
and
about
I.
to turn 25.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's right.
Alex and I are 3 years apart,
Mm-hmm.
and then Nina and I are about like a year and a half,
Yeah.
roughly.
And me and Nina are like
8?
8 years apart. Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
been fun. I feel like we've all always hit different stages of our lives all at different times.
No, literally.
So it's kind of
Mhm.
unique to see, like, as we've all matured and stuff, because when we were little, we didn't really get along.
Oh no.
Never. Always
feel
fighting.
like we all have like really interesting personalities. They're very different personalities. And
I would
so-
agree with that.
But we all liked playing with each other or like, you know what I mean?
Playing games.
Playing
Yeah.
games. And so although we would like argue, we would just be like, well, I don't want to be bored, so
So I guess I'll play
so we're
with
just gonna
you.
keep going. We're gonna
Yeah.
we're gonna leave that argument and we're just gonna keep going.
No, I love that. And we'll talk more on a different episode. We'll talk more about, like, kind of our life growing up and some
Men's.
fun memories that we've experienced.
Right.
But
But
for
I will say, it is the four of us right now, but we do have an
Oh.
additional cousin
Oh,
slash
yeah.
sister. Nina and Amanda have an older sister.
Yeah, our older sister. So there's 5 of us. Our older sister, me and Nina's older sister. Her name's Brandy. She is. Oh my God, she's
35.
No, I think she's 34.
turning 35,
In
No.
October.
it's one of those. She's up there.
She's 35.
Mid 30s.
Watch
Yeah.
me say 35. She's like, I'm like 30. Anyway, she's 35.
The
She's
husband.
married. She's married with the husband. They've been together for like
11? 12.
10 years.
A long
11,
time.
12.
11 years or something. And they have 2 kids. Aiden, he's
8.
I thought he was
Eight.
10.
Me too.
I thought he was 10.
8.
He's
Did you not
8.
tell us he was 10 last night?
And Amy, she is
6.
6. See, I don't even know who their age is.
Aunt of the year.
Yeah, but she's off doing mother things.
Motherly things.
So she's not here with us.
But she might join us for
An
an episode
or
or two.
two.
So,
Hopefully.
Twins.
twinsies.
Yeah. So today we're just gonna talk about all individually, all of us, and like what stage of life we're in, and just kind of
Talk about it. Give some advice. 'Cause for
ask
s-
each other's questions.
Yeah.
You know?
That's good. Nina, you want to kick us off, girl?
In high school, y'all, my high school, I feel like we all had different high school experience.
I feel like you think that, but I don't think so.
It
Okay.
can't really get far from each
I
other.
think the difference is that because like Audie and I went to one high school and then you and Amanda went to another high school, I
Probably.
think that's why y'all will probably have more similar
Yeah.
experiences. And then kind of the same thing with me and Audie too. I feel like we had not like exactly the same experience, but I would say Audie and I's
Similar.
experience of high school was similar, but like on the positive side for sure.
get
No,
that.
I
get
agree.
that.
I think since we're obviously we all went to a high school in the same city, but different parts of the city. So
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
it could come with different environments.
Yeah,
For
for
sure.
sure.
My most of my time was occupied by dance. So I was on the ballet company at my high school because I think are the only high school that has a ballet company. And I was from freshman to senior year, and then I was on the varsity dance team as well.
All 4 years?
No, just 2 years.
For me, I was a freshman volleyball player and then a JV softball player. And then I was a varsity dancer for 2 years at the end. I was involved in student council, National Honor Society, and that was my time.
Fun stuff. So I played on the JV volleyball team, and then I became a varsity volleyball player. And then I was also a 4-year letter for softball, so I was a varsity softball player. And then I stopped playing volleyball so I could cheer, and then I became a varsity cheerleader. I did a lot in high school. I was a part of like a volunteering organization, and I did the morning announcements my junior year.
Long story short, Audie was like Miss your high school.
Missed my high school, yeah. It
Uh-huh.
was I did
Yeah.
a lot in high school, and I was the class president senior year.
Oh, and athletic trainer.
Oh yeah, I was a
Athletic
trainer.
Let's not forget about
Sorry
that.
about the trainers.
And National
Please.
Honor Society.
NHS, yes. Nina, what'd you do? What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What am I
Currently?
doing? I'm on my second year on the varsity dance team.
Yes.
Nice.
Slay.
Claps.
So
Wait, before we get started, also my older sister, Audie was saying earlier was like she is was the only cheerleader. So
Mhm.
we all dance except for Audie, but also my older sister. She has a different high school experience than us because she went to a private school and
That's
we
true.
all went to a public school. And she was also a cheerleader. So, yeah.
Her take will be different because she wore a uniform every day.
Uniform every day. She's been with those friends since kindergarten. Like,
It's crazy,
yeah.
right?
I mean, I guess
Some
us
people have,
too,
yeah.
But
I
like,
didn't. Mine was different, so but we
Yeah.
can get into that.
Okay, Nina.
So you're in high school, Nina. Tell us all about it.
I can tell you my freshman and sophomore year were not my prime times. Like they were not fun. Like
So you're on the come up.
yeah, so I'm
Okay,
like
good.
Okay, rapid
this
fire.
year's gonna be good.
Rapid fire. What is your favorite thing about high school?
You're like free. Like you're kind of just like they let you do it. Like you're on your own.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's true. I would agree.
Okay. Well, yeah, because you have more like autonomy,
Yeah.
and it's up to you
Yeah.
if you do your work or not.
I feel like the kids sometimes can just be the worst.
I was gonna
ones.
say, that
the
was my least
social
favorite.
life.
My least favorite was how judgmental everyone was, but everyone was just trying to find themselves at that time, so no one
Mhm.
really knew like how to act, and so it was easier to protect their egos to just be mean and judge. When I'm like, girl or boy, relax. You're not all
Yeah.
about
No,
that
yeah.
in a bag of chips. Like,
Mhm.
But I feel like going into my junior year, I'm like, okay, you're either like still immature or you're like mature. Like get to the mature level. Like
Yeah,
mhm.
and I mean you're not considered like an upperclassman, so I think that's also going to differentiate how you see like the school because you're not new and with fresh eyes. Like you've been there for a while, and I think you now rule the school
yeah.
in some way.
So you're going into your junior year.
I loved junior year.
Really?
That was my favorite year.
That was mine too.
Honestly, same.
Because the way I explain to people, I'm like, when you become a senior, and like, I'm sure y'all can all kind of relate to this. As a senior in high school, you start have to figuring out your future. Like you
Mhm.
have to make decisions
Mhm.
about your academics,
Yeah.
about where you're gonna live, where you're gonna stay in college, how are you gonna afford it, all this and that, blah 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 blah. How am I gonna get there? Like all these things are running through your mind, and you really can't just enjoy it because you're preoccupied making sure your things in the future
And
are
plus,
covered.
like as a senior, you have like all these things, prom,
Yes.
like all your last
Graduation, all your last ceremonies, and all this fun stuff. So I mean, it can be fun, but junior year was
your last year
your last year.
of just being a high schooler.
Yeah, in my opinion, yes. And like you have more freedom as a junior than you did as a sophomore, but then that still comes
Yeah.
with like, it's fun because I still have another year of this. Like
Yeah.
it's
So,
not.
I mean, and
stressful.
That's like the first year that you can really start driving, or like there's freedom. There's more freedom at school, but there's more freedom at home too. I feel like.
So what's
junior year.
your favorite? What's the most thing you're excited for being a junior?
I would say like feeling like an upperclassman at the same time because now I'm like
You rule the school.
not like that. Like I don't care about that, but kind of just like Or like I'm already like out the like shy high school phase where I'm just going
like-
to school, don't
Yeah.
care about like
Like, you know everything already.
Yeah.
You kind
Yeah.
of can just go and
I'm just going
have
in there.
fun.
Yeah.
Okay, do you have any questions about us since we've already gone through?
High school?
Yeah.
Okay, see, like y'all are like junior year is my favorite year, but I'm hearing total different from people at my school.
Okay.
Like everyone's like junior year is like the most
Actually,
toughest year
yeah.
ever, and you're just like,
I agree. At least at our school, like although I liked junior year, I did feel like junior year was one of the hardest academic wise.
Mm-hmm.
One because you are getting ready for college, so you're like trying to make sure you're like
It's the
on top.
last one that counts.
Yeah, exactly. It's the last one that counts.
For
so you're like
sure.
not trying to f up. Excuse my language, but
Yeah.
like because you do have to be on top of it.
Academically.
Yeah.
I could see that.
So for me, I honestly feel like I set myself up for good success at the beginning of my high school career. And I think that's what kind of paved my way for junior and senior year to be so easy. For
Yeah.
anybody listening, if you are going into high school, this is my one piece of advice that will take you so far. And that is to be friends with your teachers.
Mhm.
You need them more than they need you. And my God, if I sat here and told you the amount of times that teachers have pulled me out of like the hole because they like me or they respect that I'm nice and respectful
And a hard worker.
and a hard worker and I participate, like it gets you so far.
Yeah.
Because if you're nice, if you participate, get to know your teachers. Like
Mhm.
they're humans too. They have lives. Like ask them about themselves. Like when they feel that someone's taking an interest into their life, they're more inclined to helping you when you need the help.
No,
Right.
I agree, and I feel like I learned that late. Well, no, actually, I understood that in high school, but I know sometimes it can be intimidating when all your other classmates / friends are like, like
Teacher's
who
pet.
cares
Oh.
about school? Like you're weird. Why are you talking?
Yes.
Like you're
Yeah.
a suck up. All this stuff, but like no, not gonna lie. Like go up to your teacher, do what you're saying.
Get to know them.
Because those times where you forget to turn in an assignment and you're like, I'm so
Uh-oh.
sorry, I had practice late. Like
They're understanding.
That really
Yeah.
does apply to even college, I'll say. Like, you don't try to forget an assignment,
It
but
just
if it
happens.
happens, and every single time I've needed to have an extension or say, like, hey, professor, like, I know that I missed it. I'm not trying to say that, like, I deserve the full grade, but I
Yeah.
know it's, like, helps for the test. Like, do you mind just opening? You can give me a 0, but I'm just going to take accountability for what I did. And, like, 9 times out of 10, they're going to be understanding, and they've always given me the extension, and, like, it never happens again. But you learn your lesson, you let life happen, and then you move on from it. And I think that's the best way to get through it, as opposed to, like, stressing yourself out and having anxiety about it, because we're all human and we make mistakes. But yes, being upfront with your teachers and being mature in that and taking accountability for what happens or if you miss something, I think goes a long way in
And
their eyes.
don't listen to your peers. They're going to clown on you and they're going to say, oh, you're a teacher's pet, whatever. Ask them how it's working out for them.
Yeah.
I'm
Mhm.
telling you, it works every time. That's my big piece of advice.
all
I
right.
low-key think that was definitely me this year.
It's so
this
amazing.
Sophomore year, like I kid you not, like I would go in like into my classes this past sophomore year, and I would like knew all my teachers. We would like this and that. Even if my class was like the shy kids, I would still be like,
Yeah.
how is your? Even if those teachers were like not the nicest teachers,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but like that's one thing I did do this year that definitely.
And sometimes you'll find that you actually kind of like your teachers. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, like this one's so cool. But I don't know, fun stuff.
All right. Any last thoughts on high school?
Last thing I was going to say earlier, but what was funny for like mine and Audie's dad, our junior year, had said, this is my first goal that I have for you for junior year, and it's to find a boyfriend. So both Audie and I had boyfriends junior year, and I think that did make a difference. And you were saying, Amanda, that that's when you had your boyfriend too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that does make a difference for like it being a good year. But yes, all those other factors as well. But I thought that was funny.
It
So I wanted to
its
mention
not
it.
mine. It can come with its highs and lows.
No, yeah.
but
That's
for the most
true.
part, it's fun. You're
Well,
right.
Yeah,
It is,
I
yeah.
was saying the reason why it was a little like I didn't think school was hard for me. I just think there was so much that I was thinking about, and having a boyfriend honestly now looking back was like unnecessary thoughts that I needed to have,
Mm.
and it like distracted me from my academics. Although I was floating all the time. Like I feel like I could have gotten more if I didn't have that, but
I will say my boyfriend did help me with school. So if you're watching out there and you know who you are, thanks for getting me through physics. Thanks for getting me through physics, and I got college credit because of you.
Oh my
Thanks.
gosh.
Preach.
All right,
Yeah,
Ariana.
crazy. So I'm going to college. I literally, you guys, I move in less than 30 days.
That's crazy.
That's insane, right? Like, what am I gonna do? I'm going. I'm going to college, obvi. I'm kind of nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I went from a 5A high school to probably one of the biggest universities in
The
the
country.
country.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I do not know a lot of people that are going to the university, so in a way, I'm excited to kind of get and meet new people, and just surround myself with like a different environment,
Yeah.
because I think it's nice to kind of reinvent yourself. Because if you just go with the same people from high school, you're never really gonna like
No, yeah.
thrive.
I'm
feel
actually
like.
so excited that you're leaving town. If I'm being honest, I wish, and today I still wish that I left
Yeah.
the city. Life just happened to not crumble like that for me. Like
Mhm.
I'm still here. The opportunities led me to still be here,
Right.
which is like not bad. But yeah, if I were to go back, I would leave the city. And I was honestly, I planned.
You
it.
were planning
I was
on.
about to.
That's why when I heard you weren't leaving, I was like, wait, what happened?
Yeah.
Because I thought for the longest time that's where you were going. That's why
Yeah.
Nina cried at your graduation.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I
Still
know.
have
She
the
And I was
video.
like, and
bawled.
then I cried because you stayed.
Yeah, I know. One, I'm
Wet.
actually really glad that I didn't go
Okay.
because I didn't. No offense, but I didn't.
Not
wanna,
that one.
I didn't want to go to I didn't want to be in Corpus.
Not that one.
I feel like I wouldn't be where I am today if I,
I agree.
went to
Right.
Corpus.
I agree.
Two, just financial. Like my parents' financials just couldn't take me over there.
Help you.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
So Amanda stayed here where we are for college.
Mm-hmm.
Alex did the same thing too. And when
Mhm.
she got her master's degree, she did it at a university that was not from where we live, but she took it online.
Yeah.
Yes.
So neither one of y'all have left the city.
Yeah, I know.
That is true, but I will say Amanda went to a private school and I went to a public school
Yeah.
for college. And what's funny is that we didn't leave, but we swapped our areas of town. Like
Yeah.
I went towards where she was living and she went towards where I was living, and the city is so big in my opinion, and at least those areas feel really different
yeah.
that it felt like we were away.
I agree.
I had a different experience with college because I never really had my heart set on a specific college when I was choosing.
Honestly, same.
But
Which
the school that I had
ahead.
gone on to for like a trip, and it was the one that's Audie's going to now,
Mm-hmm.
I saw myself the most there as well. Now going back to that whole playing the game in high school, I
Mhm.
was off for automatic admissions by 1%. So I didn't get in, but I could do like a deferment for a year
Yeah,
or whatever and then
uh-huh.
get in the next year.
you chose not to do
And
that.
I chose not to do that because I had a lot of hours from high school that was going to transfer over to college credit, which was like an entire year. So
Yeah.
I did end up keeping those credits. But again, my experience is also a little different because my senior year was COVID.
Mm.
COVID hit. So I didn't get all those like last moments, things like that. But I guess also being an older sibling and a lot of my family, like on our side, but also on my mom's side, they were a lot older, and I'm a very family oriented person. So I just felt like I needed to be here, or I wanted to be here for those last years that some of our family were going to be here, and see Audie through high school. And I will say, like, Audie going through high school with Audie, like, kind of again, like, healed my inner self from senior year. Not getting
She
those
lived
experiences.
vicariously
Yeah.
through me.
I did, but like now I'm healed and I'm good because I now know what those experiences would have felt like a little bit.
Right.
So I will say that's my experience, at least like choosing college, but I did stay here, and I'm glad I did, and kind of seeing what the last 4 years played out on my family side. Like I'm glad I stayed here.
And so I want to touch on something because I think it's such a big factor in my opinion. So Amanda and Alex both already mentioned that when they were in high school or like senior or junior in high school, they didn't really have a specific university or college that they
Right.
wanted to go to.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I knew like in elementary school where
No,
I wanted to go to. And I just told everyone like I'm going here, I'm going here, I'm going here. And for me, I was able to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and like I knew that that was my dream and I needed to do whatever I needed to do to
Yeah.
get there. So it does change because like when you don't know where you want to go, you don't have anything you're working towards.
Yeah.
You're just kind of like, well, I know I'm going to graduate and I
Yeah.
know I'm going to go somewhere, but
Mhm.
for me it was like, no, this is where I want to go. What does it take?
Right.
And let me make sure I check all the boxes I need to so I can guarantee
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
spot there.
No, I like that because I felt like I feel like I didn't have anyone in my life who constantly pushed me to look at colleges like that.
Mm-hmm.
And two, I obviously wasn't self motivated then when I was in college. I mean, when I was in high school or middle school, actually,
Yeah.
to like look at, make a decision on the certain college I want to go to and find like what I need to do to make it there. So if that was the case, I would have had a totally different life right now. But I was in that position where I was like, well, I'm not going to college, but I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
I'm just gonna go. Just gonna do things.
And I always say, like, if you don't know where you're going, shoot for the highest, like, college you can.
yeah.
Like, in my opinion, I'm like, convince yourself that you're going to go to an Ivy League school because that means you'll set yourself up with a good GPA, good test scores, and then you can really go anywhere.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
Then the option's yours.
Honestly, yeah.
But don't, like, relax and coast because, like, well, I don't know where I want to go.
Right.
Because then when you decide, you don't want to be in
Your
the predicament
choices are
of not
limited.
being able to attend that university.
I agree.
I will say the big difference I think between mine and Audie's experience, at least at home preparing for college, versus like y'all's, like Audie and I's parents, they were admissions counselors for their own
Yeah.
colleges, which I think helped us, even though they weren't like, okay, you need to do XYZ to be a
Whatever.
good candidate for college. They definitely had that in the back of their minds and would manipulate us in a good way
Yeah.
in order to get what we needed to get done. Because although I missed where I thought I wanted to go, like 1%, I still graduated top 7% of my class, which gave me good options everywhere. So although I wasn't in top 2% like Audie, I still set myself up for success, even from a young age.
So yeah, but I don't know. I'm really excited to go to college. I have a really outgoing personality, and I just like meeting new people. Like we were at a concert the other day, and this girl was sitting next to me, and I literally turned and I was like, "Are you here alone?" And she was like, "Yeah," and I was like, well, "What's your name?" And she was like, "Oh, my name is whatever." And but I just like I like meeting new people. I like the big football and big
Yeah.
Southern school kind of vibe
Yeah.
and Greek life and all that kinds of stuff. So I'm really excited to go to college. I'm nervous because I'm sure my academics are going to be
This is
hard,
this is actually
harder than high school for
yeah,
sure.
definitely.
Mhm.
It's gonna be funny. I kind of like that for you because you're like you're the fourth in line, so you've kind of seen like 3 people already go through like life.
Different paths
But
too.
this is something that none of us have ever really gone to, except for my older sister. She has gone to a big school, but not as big as yours.
Mhm.
And she has gone through Greek life, but not really the way yours school
It's different.
goes. So it's like I'm excited for you to go through something that none of
Yeah.
us have.
Mm-hmm.
I will say also, at least from the academic perspective, it will be harder, but I think it's a different way of learning, and I don't know if you could attest to that because
Oh
it's way different from high school. But it's not hard to get a grasp on it. It's just like
no, yeah.
Figuring
it's
it
just a
out.
different way and like
It's a different
settling.
way. Yeah, I think it's a different way of learning how to time manage.
Yeah.
And you're different. Like you're so used to studying a certain way in
Oh, I
in high
don't
school.
study in high
I don't
school.
study. I
No,
didn't
you
study
don't
either.
study, but you can just like kind of just read through your whatever, and then you'll be
Mm-hmm.
fine, right? In college, I kind of have to be like, wait, I could do that, or they don't even give you study guides. You kind of have to figure out like
Your
what
own
you-
way.
your own way
Yeah,
of studying.
for
So
sure.
your freshman year, I would say your first semester is going to be a lot of trial and error, and a lot of people mess up because they think party and like doing all that. You do that, that's fine, but also like I would reel it back just a little bit until you find your flow
Of
of
academics.
Agreed. And
for
I think
sure.
like you taking summer classes kind of let you get into that mindset of what a college class kind of looks like or the expectations. And
Mhm.
I do think, and if anybody's out there and is thinking about taking AP or dual credit courses, I would highly recommend
Take
because it really does prep you for college.
Yeah, ask Derek. He
yeah.
graduated college in 2 years because he already had so many classes.
Yeah, but I will say and this is something that I only really had one class that was 100% in person and tests were taken in person. Everything else that I had class because I was a COVID graduate from high school,
Yeah.
it was like pretty much 100% online. So that is something that I'm like, good luck, because those classes are a lot harder just because it's in person and you can't
And you know
finagle your way through.
and you know how
the
you're
class.
like BFFs. You know how you're BFFs with your teachers now.
Yeah.
You're gonna
These
be,
teachers do not care about you.
They
Well,
don't.
I'm gonna force them to care.
Yeah.
They don't care just because there's so many
There's
kids.
so many.
It's like
well, not many.
it's like okay, each class I think like right now for high school, if you go to a pretty big high school, it's like
Saying,
anywhere
like,
from
per
100.
class.
Like a teacher has
Mhm.
150 students to
Oh, I see what
200
you're saying.
students
Per
in case
class.
like
Oh, I'm
of their
talking about
entire
college.
day.
Yeah.
For college, they probably have like 1,000 students, something like that. So you're really just a number, and where you're going,
Yeah.
I
like
am
you're
a
gonna sit
number.
in one class with
Yeah.
500 kids.
For sure. But let's see in a couple months. I'll come back and let y'all know if I've gotten to know any of my professors
or if she's moving back to San
or if I'm
Antonio.
moving back to San Antonio.
I
No,
don't
I need to stick
think
it out.
you would, but
I'm going to be okay. It's going to be okay.
Luckily for me, my university was so small, so I was able to have those connections.
Your
with my
classes were
professors.
smaller in college than they were in high school.
They were, yeah.
Mine
it was
were
fun.
mine were medium because I felt like mine was definitely bigger than Amanda's school, but way smaller than Audie's school.
Yeah.
So mine was a pretty. They were pretty.
How did you like
decent.
college?
I loved college. I loved the academic side, and I didn't want to go to a small college because I think that would just be too big of a culture shock. Because
Mhm.
our mom went to a private school, and she was like, there were 5 people sitting in a room, and that was like all
Her
of my
school
class.
was smaller than mine.
Right. And
Is
so
it
I
still
was
smaller
like,
than yours?
mm-hmm. And I was like, I can't do that. So I loved college. I didn't have as much of a social life only because, at least for my school, because it was COVID again, like for the first year, like nobody really went out, at least to my knowledge. And
Oh, they were out.
and like Amanda and I were babies in our class. So we turned 17. We were 17 when we graduated high school technically.
Yeah, we were.
Like I didn't turn 21 until
We were graduating.
I didn't even because I wasn't even 21 when I
Yeah.
graduated from
Yeah.
college. So
Yeah.
that's why I was like, I never really could formally go out, and I was always too scared to go out.
Yeah.
Again, I'm curious to see how different it is. Like, I'm excited, but like, I'm nervous.
You're gonna have fun.
I'm gonna have so much fun, and like, I know, knowing my personality, like, I'll be just fine.
I'm
Like,
fun. It's fun. Like I'm ready to come visit you.
You're
oh,
gonna have fun, but you're gonna be a little bit stressed, but it's
Mhm.
okay. Alexandria,
ugh,
how are you?
she's adulting too fast.
I'm
Holy
really
cannoli.
adulting. I feel like I'm 30, but I'm not.
Well,
I've been feeling like I'm 30 since I graduated high school.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you just started your full-time position, right? How long have you been full-time?
I have been full time since the end of April, so about 3 months now. But I was with the same company for a year and a half prior to getting my full time position through an internship with them.
wow.
Slay.
So okay, so she finished her undergrad. She's got her master's degree.
I
Do you
did
think you'll ever
school-
go back to school?
No, I did. I don't think I'll go back.
Okay.
I will say I did school on a fast track, but I never had a semester off. The last time I really had off was the summer before my senior year of high school because every semester I had something to do for school or I was in a class or enrolled. So I'm really like over school right now, and I'm so glad. Like when Audie said that she couldn't do something because she had homework or a test, I was like, thank God that's not me anymore. Like I'm just like excited to not worry about school. And
Mhm.
I've been like that for a little while because all throughout my college time I worked. So it was very much
Go, go, go.
it was very much go go go, but
Do you think that's why you didn't have a social life?
no, because I never really went out in high school.
It's just not your cup
it's
of
just
tea.
it wasn't my
Yeah.
cup of tea, and I think, and I don't know why, and maybe some of y'all can relate if y'all an older sibling, but like I would have never thought to ask my parents to go out, and at least the friend group that I had in high school, they weren't go out people. So
Mm.
I really wasn't like
Really?
tempted to go out and stuff like that. But I also, and I will say this, my group of friends weren't like my besties in high school, at least like the ones at school,
Okay.
because every year that I went to like a new, like from pre-K to elementary, then to middle school, then high school, like it wasn't a direct feeder into the next school. So if you were talking about going to school with the same people since kindergarten,
Yeah.
I didn't have that experience because
And she holds on to that.
I do,
Big
but
time,
it's just it's hard to make, at least for me. I know I'm not a social butterfly like my sister, but
Yeah.
I have a hard time making friends and like good ones that last. So if we have something in common like a class or an activity, I can be friends with you for that time.
But
And
then
make
once
friends
it's
with you.
over,
Bye.
well, bye.
Because then we don't have anything in common after that. And it's hard for me to like keep those connections. But the ones that my core group of friends that I have and that I still consider like my best friends today, I've known since we were like in first grade, but that was because of sports, extracurricular sports outside of school. That was a part of our church group. Like that's what
I-
I consider my best friends.
I will also say, have friends that walk different walks of life.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is also another piece of advice I'd give to like anybody going into high school, especially, is that like don't just have two friends and that's it. Have those two friends. Have these other best friends. Have these close friends, because when something does go wrong, you have all of them to turn to.
Yeah.
And like if these two
For
are
sure.
are making you mad right now, you can go to this one and they'll help you feel better. And when that one's making you mad, you can go to the other ones and they'll make you feel better.
It
like-
works for the right type of person, for like that does,
Yeah.
because if you're not the right type of person, then you can be, and maybe this is just like petty high schoolers, but if you're friends with too many people, it's like, okay, that person's not genuine because they're friends with too many people.
Oh, I mean like your best friends.
Yes.
Because like shout out to all my besties out there. Y'all really get me through the rough times. But like I will say, like my closest friends, two of them are older than me. One of them's a year younger than me. The other one's a couple years younger than me. The other one's 3 days apart from me. Like we are like they're all at different stages, but they all bring out such an amazing side of me. And I love them all for that. And like they're just the most supportive and loving friends ever. And it's nice to have a good support system.
That's true. I will say also, for you specifically, your friends that you mentioned, you all met them in high school,
Yes.
all of them, or
I
like at
did.
least became close to them in high school. And I think
At
that
different parts of my at different
times
parts
of high school,
Yeah,
yeah.
times of high school.
But like you don't really have like I think you would consider like a childhood best friend. You have like
I have a childhood friend.
yes, well, middle school.
That's childhood for me. I feel like 5 years old still. I do not, let me just make it clear, I do not feel old enough to move on my own. Like, I'm like, Mom, are you coming with me? Like,
oh yeah.
how, like,
Like you're gonna sleep next
are
to
you
me,
gonna
right?
lay down with me? Because,
Yeah.
like, I just need you to put me to sleep.
Yeah.
Like, Mom, where are you leaving me?
Yeah.
I have
I-
a childhood friend.
Yes.
I think Hannah is my
Hannah.
longest. Hannah is my
Hannah.
longest.
She was
friend.
like our sixth cousin. Like she would come to
Yeah.
everything with
She was there like
Amanda.
Easter, Thanksgiving.
No,
Yeah.
literally.
Third sister.
We became friends in third grade, and we're still friends. Like, I mean, I don't talk to her every day, but like she FaceTimed me the other day, and she was like, "I need to know I don't know what to wear to this dinner," and I was like, and I hadn't talked to her for a month.
Right.
And that's true friendship
Yeah.
when you can go periods of time without talking
Yeah.
to them, and then like
like
you
nothing
call them
changed.
and nothing changed.
No,
Yeah.
literally.
Like
yeah.
you just pick right off, and it's like, oh my goodness, like I missed you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, like I have my core group of friends from when we were in elementary. Like I guess like now getting into the adulting life, because we're all kind of in that stage. We all just kind of graduated.
Yeah.
We now see that like these are our core friends, and it
Yeah.
really made like a different perspective on like not even just school and the social aspect of being just like young, but like now that things are happening to us as adults
Yeah.
and like in our own families and our own struggles, but also like the fun times. Like my friend is in a house with her boyfriend and my other friend is like practically engaged. Like it's
No,
fun
yeah.
to see us moving along through our lives, and I think that's also the nice part of like finding ourselves post high school but with the same people that we knew and younger, and I
Yeah.
think that's so cool.
I was gonna say, like, when you're in your stage of life, like you'll notice your ride or dies.
Yeah.
And I can name like 4 of them. Yeah, I can name 4 of them that like
Your ride or dies.
my ride or die since 3rd grade, high school, and then to college.
Because friendship works both ways.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
That is the
Mhm.
most eye-opening thing ever. And like, I will be going through this a lot now that I'm stepping into college.
Mm-hmm.
Because when my 2 older friends, when they went to college, like, part of me was nervous because I had other friends that I thought I was going to stay in touch with, and I didn't end up. And it's kind of disappointing to recognize that. But both these friends made an effort. You just
Exactly.
make an effort.
make
If
an
you
effort.
care about that person,
Yeah.
you reach out to them.
Right.
They reach out to you. Like, you make the effort and you put the work in to keep your friendship. And I think that's so, like,
Yeah.
it's important.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
And I would say, because you mentioned that, like, I didn't become close with my friends until high school. And I know we always say, I changed so much from a little girl and, like, my
gosh,
personality.
She's had, like she's a 180 kid.
to the way I behaved and treated people, like elementary school to like middle school, kind of having like the epiphany, and then in high school, like I've changed crazy. So I think that's why I don't really have like any of those like younger, super close friends because they
Yeah.
were all like
Scared
terrified
about
of
me.
me
Like, not
Yeah.
gonna be friends with her
because she's a bully. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was so mean. So sorry.
now that you're out of school and you have a full-time job, you know your true friends. So like, are you dating
anyone? Yeah.
I'm not dating.
There's no
anyone.
excuse now. There's no homework that's keeping you home.
Right,
I
you're not
know.
busy.
You're not busy.
I know. Yeah, it's hard. I don't know. It's hard to get back on the bike, and I think
It's been how long has it been?
Sorry, it's the last time I had a boyfriend. I was finishing my junior year. I was going into my senior year.
So
of
you
it
were
high
was
school.
16?
It was easier to find.
I had just
17?
turned 17.
It was easier to get that boyfriend because you were in high school.
Yeah, and we had class in
And you
common.
saw
We
him
had
every
physics
day.
in common.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now that you don't see men
People all
every
the
day-
time.
Or
Yeah.
wait, are you interested in men?
Yeah.
Okay. Women?
Have you
No.
Okay.
have you gone on any dates since high school?
What do you identify?
No, not any dates, but I will say, and again, because I'm going to say I'm a little socially awkward,
Okay.
but
At least you can admit that,
yes,
girl.
but I will say not in times of need, but I have been more prone to like being an initiator of friendships. I had a couple guy friends in college, and I was the one who was like, "Hey, I know we have class, like, let's be friends and let's help each other through class." And
Not
then
the
after when we
class.
didn't have class together, like I was still like, "Hey, like let's go get dinner. Hey, let's go out," because I had just turned 21, and I was like, "You know what? I can't get arrested for having alcohol on me, so let's go out."
I'm
Um,
interested to see the guy that you
so yeah.
date.
Everyone
Me?
is. Everyone has their
her.
own like envision of what they want me to date. All my close friends are like, "I want you to date this wilderness guy because you hate
Oh, I'm
going
sorry.
outside."
Not the route
and
I
they're
was
like,
thinking.
I was
No,
like, what?
all my close friends are like, "You hate the outdoors so much that I'm like you're probably gonna fall in love with a woodsman and you're gonna be outside."
No.
And I'm like, "Do not put that on me. Don't wish
No.
that for
She
me."
hates the outdoors.
It's because
hates
like
grass,
you're
hates bugs.
so like you're such a particular person where you like
She's picky.
you're picky. You have to have things a certain way. Like although you
Yeah.
are a mutable sign, so, and you can.
What's mutable, Amanda? For those
you-
out there,
Yeah.
Yeah, say all of our zodiac signs.
Enlighten
why
us.
not?
Nina's a Pisces, Audie's a Scorpio, so they're 2 water signs. They're very emotional. Although Alex is a Gemini, and she might be more emotional than all of us.
She is.
She's a Gemini. She's a mutable sign. I'm a Virgo. I'm a mutable sign, and
Oh
we're
my
both.
God.
Me and Alex are both ruled by Mercury, so that's why we communicate properly. But Nina's also a mutable sign, so all 3 of us can adapt to situations faster than Audie because Audie's a fixed sign, and if it's not Audie's way,
it's gone.
it's gone.
And that is
That's
really
true.
true because
Yes,
I
that's
again,
why our 4 relationships get along because it's the world around Audie.
my brain gets
Mm.
so fixated on something. Like I have to have it. Like I don't care how to get there,
Yeah.
what I need to do.
Which
like,
is good.
I'm gonna get
sometimes.
there.
Yeah.
I'm a very passionate person. Is what I would
Okay,
say.
back to Alex.
I just think the way that like at least my dad is, and that has raised me.
Talk
Like
about
again,
yourself,
I
girl.
feel that I'm 30,
Can I say something?
and it's like I can't settle for like you know what I mean.
Sometimes, okay, from an outsider's perspective, who's not your sister and who doesn't live with you, I love your dad, and I love my tío, and he's such an amazing person. He gives such good vibes. But I
Shout
feel
out,
like
Dad.
you allow his opinion to
Oh,
1,000%.
affect you.
1,000%.
I like
1,000%.
girl.
I've tried telling her this over. I'm like, you're
1,000%.
not living for him.
Yeah.
He lived his
It's
life,
so hard.
but she's a people pleaser.
It's so hard.
are.
I
Especially
not even
her dad.
well, my parents. I
Yeah.
feel like if my parents don't approve, I'm like I'm
That's
doing
such a
something
Gemini.
wrong.
You're such a Gemini for that.
Yeah.
A girl Gemini, by the way.
Well, it's weird. Is like my mom's a Gemini too. And fun fact, I was supposed to be born on her birthday, so
Yeah.
like really Gemini. And we clash sometimes. But
Oh, yeah,
my
they're
mom's not
they're
like that. My
psychotic.
mom, I think she's just been burned too much.
yeah, yeah.
That she's like,
Whatever. Right? I agree.
yeah, she's
I
like,
agree.
I can't deal.
She
She's like-
only depends on herself because she knows
Correct.
she can only
Correct.
truly count on herself.
And she's really like
Yeah.
an only child. She has like 2 half brothers,
Yeah.
but she's really an only
No,
child.
yeah. So
Mhm.
when are you gonna get to that point?
I don't. I don't
she won't
know.
ever. She won't ever.
I don't know, but my dad is. Oh, my dad wants me to date so bad.
So then, please
So
do.
anybody
date.
knows. I want to date too, but I just think it's hard for me.
What is hard about it?
You're nervous?
Let
Yeah,
her-
like
let her talk.
I feel like internally and mentally I'm a catch, but like I don't know. Sometimes I doubt my outside features.
Okay.
Okay.
Here's my thought. Do you think that you're not gonna be good enough for the guy that you're trying to pursue?
I know I'm good enough.
Okay.
I don't know if I like look the part.
Oh, who cares?
That's my point. But guys are not attracted to brains at
Uh,
front. They're attracted to how somebody looks.
Not all guys.
I would disagree with that, Amanda. Because in my opinion, the initial attraction is what gets me, and the
Correct.
personality seals the deal. The
I would agree
physical
with that.
attraction
Okay,
gets me to walk up
yes.
to you and talk to you. Then you talking, your morals, your values, your personality is what gets me to like close.
No,
the deal.
yeah, I agree, but I've also seen a good amount where, and this is from guys too, because I have a lot of guy friends, where I've seen a good amount where the guys are like, she may not be the like most attractive girl, but they're like, no, I like her. Like that's my
But they've had to been around the person for long enough to get to know them.
yeah.
But for
You
somebody
have to
just to
start
walk up to
somewhere.
somebody is like
So maybe you're not gonna find it at a club. Maybe you're not gonna find them at a bar,
right.
which I would
It's okay.
recommend. Which I would recommend actually.
You would recommend to find
no,
somebody.
to not
Like,
to
to
not,
not
okay.
find. Yeah.
And that's why I've been trying to put myself in different environments because at least in high school, I felt that I was involved in a lot of extracurriculars and throughout my whole time in like school. But now I have to find extracurriculars that I can do, which is why I decided to volunteer with
Yeah.
the organization that we're involved in. And I'm deciding to put myself out there more and go out more with my friends and just saying yes to more experiences in life. And
Yeah.
that's what I figured that at least this first step that I'm trying to. And the other day it did work out for me with a little smooch
Oh
at a
my
bar.
Jesus.
But
Oh my god. I heard
Oh
another
my
one.
but it's a step. But it's a step. You know what I mean?
No,
Okay,
yeah,
It's
yeah,
a step
it
in the
is.
right direction. And if you have to start somewhere,
Sure.
at least it was that. And
Okay,
I'm putting
cool.
myself more out there. And yeah,
I love that because I feel like it has to come from within.
I agree.
Nobody can tell you. Dad can't tell you
I
how many
just-
times
It's
you have to
weird.
want it
And
for
I've been,
yourself.
No, but I've been telling him like I don't respond to when you tell me to do something.
But you do apparently.
No, it's weird. Like
Wait, what?
it hurts me inside for him to tell me like clean your room or pick this up or whatever, and I'm just like,
Oh, that's everyone.
don't
No,
don't tell
literally.
me what to do
hate
because
that,
I was
yeah.
gonna do it anyway.
Yes.
But
But
now
if you
that you
don't
say
tell,
that-
no,
I
but if you
agree.
don't tell me to do it, I'm more likely to do it.
I agree. That's why I moved out. Oh.
That's why.
Now,
That's why.
How
I
many
didn't move
years
back
did it take,
in.
Amanda?
Okay, that wasn't why, but there's a lot
That's
of
why I
factors.
didn't
Yeah,
move
let's
back
not
in
go there.
because I'm like I can't.
Let me do it
I
myself.
can't be here. I know that I can take care of myself. I know I can cook for myself.
college.
I know I can do all of that for myself, and I don't need you, Dad.
Yeah.
What? Alfredo, did you hear that?
I
Cut her
don't
off.
She
need
just
cut her off.
him.
Cut her off.
I need his emotional support and
Dad,
like
stop
him
giving her
being a
money. Give it
dad.
to me.
He doesn't give me any money.
I know, but
you
give me
take
more.
all of it.
Okay.
Lies.
Also,
Lies.
I don't think you should be hard on yourself either. Too, you are very young, and
But I'm 30. What are you talking about?
You're not
You're
30,
not
girl.
30. So just live life and continue to take those risks on talking to the men first.
Our dad confuses me because he has 2 different like perspectives.
He
for y'all. And I'm
does.
just like,
Wait, I want to hear about it. Tell me.
because he's like, Alex, go out and do this, but then you're out doing this, and I'm just like,
No, Addie, you can't do
No, you
that.
yeah, you can't do this. And I'm
Thank
like,
y'all.
whoa. I'm like, what if they switch lives for a second?
Right?
Like, hello?
No, because it's so true. Because in high school, we have to check in with our parents, like, hey, we made it to blank, and my dad's like, send me a picture. So they're always.
Really?
I have
Never.
I have like asked my friends to like get their parents from their bedroom in their pajamas so I can take a selfie. So my dad believes me that there's an adult there.
It's
Oh
bad.
my
It's
God.
when we went out for Alyssa's graduation party
Uh-huh.
and I left home,
Yeah.
when we were at the bar, my dad said, "Send me a picture." I'm like, "Dad, I am
They are not
21
brothers.
Our
dads are not
old.
brothers.
I am 21 years old. I do not be sending. I don't even live with the guy anymore." And he's like, "Send me a picture. Where are you? Are you almost?" And he's like, "Are you home?"
Does he
Are
not
you
have
home?
your location?
No,
No,
he doesn't.
'cause
Okay,
he's a
get
Samsung.
this. No, he said I asked him. I said, Dad, let me just share my location. That way you can watch me walk. And he was like, No. He goes, because I'll find myself like looking at it too much, and I'll get worried, and I don't want to get that. And I'm like,
oh my gosh.
He's gonna be like, "Audie, step away from that apartment."
Yeah, we walk back to the
You're not at
your
home.
dorm.
You're not at home. Where are you?
They're not.
But my point is that like my dad always has us doing that. And when Alex was in high school and I was obviously younger than her, he would always tell her like, I don't care where you are, like what time you get home, just tell me where you're at. Nope, not when Audie got to high school. It was like be home by 12:30 if you're lucky. And so I was like, Dad, like that's so not fair. Like Alex got to be out till whenever if she
Yeah.
wanted to go out.
Well, that's
Which-
because we're two different people. And the fact
But like you can't set me up with those expectations.
Audie, you were traumatizing everybody from the age of 1.
Yeah, literally.
Stop.
So,
I'm a good kid.
When you
I
get
don't
to
know
that
life
point, you didn't
before.
give yourself enough credibility.
That's I have never lied.
I'm not saying you lied. I'm just saying mom and dad didn't give you a chance to lie.
Yeah, we said we're just not gonna trust you.
But
Well,
that-
you
that's
build
so
your
wrong.
credibility.
I feel like mom and dad do trust me. They
But
just,
I also didn't go out as much as you.
I
The
know.
only time I went out was with my boyfriend when we would go, and then like that was like what, prom, and that was it. Prom and like our couple dates
because they would.
a week.
When I was younger, I would always hear them telling Alex like, "Go out, go
No,
out with your
yeah.
friends," and then I'm like, "Mom, I'm gonna go out." She's like, "You're never home," and I'm like,
Oh,
"Dude,
yeah.
you just told Alex to go.
I guess
Get
that
out.
makes sense.
So,
You're a
like,
different bird.
Tell me." So then that's why I started sleeping at my I'd spend the night over at my best friend's house because then I wouldn't have a curfew. I'm like,
Yeah.
Dad, enough.
Yeah.
I'm a senior. I'm 18 years old,
I'm
and I
an
have to be.
adult.
I have to be home by midnight.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
Audie, if I still lived with them, they would tell me the same thing. They'd be like, "You have to be home," and that's why I'm like,
I don't
"Bye."
know.
Funny.
I love my parents. We'll probably
Well,
all
then-
understand these perspectives, their
When we're
perspectives
parents.
when we're
Maybe
parents.
we can ask Brandy when she comes
No.
on. Like, what are you gonna set for your kids' rules?
Crazy though.
So yeah, that's my life, and I'll keep everybody updated. We'll see if anything's changed. Hopefully.
If you have any suitors for my awesome sister,
yes,
She's a Gemini.
you can DM us on life.
I have
for
an
our
undergrad
handles.
and a master's degree and a job.
She's really smart
Yeah.
and she's cool. And you would get a cool sister-in-law.
That's true, and pretty cool family. I love our family so much.
We're crazy, as you can tell.
We're crazy.
Well,
Amanda's on the other side of the spectrum though.
yes,
From not going on dates regularly, she is
She's past
really
all of it.
close.
settling down.
God.
What are you like on year number 3 with?
Actually, next month will be 3 years. Yeah.
That's what I
That's
said.
That's a long time to commit to somebody.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, that's
But yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I don't know. I was telling Nina this the other day. Like this time in my life is my favorite out of every single time that I
And
lived.
yeah.
I'm so like
I would
I'm
never
ready
go
for
back.
that.
I would never go back to any time in my life.
Would you change anything?
I mean, I would change like my high school experience. I would change my college experience a little bit, but I feel like I don't regret it because
It
all
got
of
you
that,
to this.
yeah, led me to the person I am today and where I'm at. So
And who you met?
and who I am at.
So can we hear a little meet
Love
cute
story.
Okay, yes. In a nutshell, basically, me and Derek, that's my boyfriend,
He's so
we
funny.
met in college and
Undergrad?
yes, undergrad.
Okay.
We I was on the dance team in college, and after football games,
We
we would
were, like-
actually the dancers and cheerleaders would host after parties.
What?
Whoa.
I would say don't tell my coach, but no one
Girl.
cares anymore because I was the coach. So
Love.
anyways, yeah, we would host the after parties after the football games, and I don't know who invited Derek to one of them, but he was there.
He was not invited,
He
but he
was
showed
not
up
invited by
anyway.
me. But
This
the-
is your sign to show up to parties uninvited. You never know who you're
Exactly.
gonna meet.
yeah. And so he was at the party too. Funny thing was, I had already, because my school was small, right? So you see everyone. I had already seen him around school, and I thought he was cute, but I never know his name. I never knew who he was. I was like,
so cute.
wait, that guy's kind of cute, but like whatever, because he had mutual friends with me.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so he was at the party, and I was like, in my head, I was like, oh my God, that guy's here. Like, he's cute. So I'm talking with Alyssa, one of my best friends, and Derek was talking to his friends, and he started speaking Spanish, which caught my eye because I was like, oh my God, he speaks Spanish. So he saw that I kind of like looked at him, so he made his move. Derek is a very flirty person. So he came and we just like started hitting it off, blah, 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 right? He always says that I rejected him, which I didn't. I just like was flirting with him throughout that night. And I said, hey, I need to use the restroom, and I just dipped. But the reason why I dipped was because I was talking to someone, so
Okay.
I didn't want to like
Be disrespectful.
yeah, I didn't want to be disrespectful, although I founded Derek attractive.
Right.
I didn't want to take it like further, so I said, hey, I need to use the restroom. I'll be back. And I just left the party.
Did you feel guilty? Where'd you leave?
Oh, there was a lot of reasons why I left.
Okay.
One, because I was like, Alyssa was over the party, so she wanted to leave. And I was like, yeah.
Love Alyssa.
Yeah, so we were just leaving because we wanted to leave. And then two, like, I just told Derek, I was like, I can't. I didn't want to, like, pursue more,
You
right?
got it.
So I just left, and I never told him that he left. So he always tells people that I rejected him, but I just, like, simply
Ghosted.
So that was fall semester, right? And then we went through the rest of fall semester, winter break, and then we came back spring semester. And mind you, our classes are really small at the university I went to. So me and Alyssa, we were walking to class for the first time during spring semester, and we were walking down the hallway. And who walks down the other end of the hallway into the classroom that we're supposed to go in? Derek. And I was like, oh crap, Alyssa, that's the guy. I was like, that's
Remember
the guy
that
that I
guy from last
ghosted.
semester?
Yeah, I was like, crap. Like, anyway, so I go in and I sit in the same row as him because
On purpose.
we were like, no, we were late. So that was
Oh.
like the only empty seats. And I was like, crap. We would like talk and help each other out during class. But then that semester, like COVID happened. So we all left. We all went back home and we were online, blah, blah. So I never saw him again. And I didn't realize that he wasn't from where we're from. And he went back home. So he's like from a city 2 hours away from us. And then, like, was dating a guy at that time, and then that just, like, fizzled out, never really went anywhere. And then that was in spring, right? Like, say, January, February.
Mhm.
Of 2020?
Yes, of
Okay.
2020. And then around, like, October, November-ish, me and that other guy kind of just, like, fizzled off. And I was on Instagram, and one of Derek's posts came up, and I was, like, stalking his page, and I said, dang, this guy's really cute. Like, I should have pursued him, you know? And, like,
First of all, stalking is not bad because it's public information.
yeah.
It's not stalking, if
Stalking
it,
is the best.
it's not
Research. I
stalking
researched
if
him.
it's public information. Period. End of
I
story.
stalk so much.
It's so you gotta match what they're saying. You gotta make sure they're factual. with
No,
what you're
yeah.
saying.
And
You're
so I
lying,
was
you're done.
researching his profile.
Love it.
There you go.
And he had posted with a girl, and I kind of was like, dang, did he like get in a relationship
Who was
already?
it?
It was his friend, his friend, and I met her. She's really nice. And so I kind of was just like, dang, like I messed up. I should have just continued with him. Whatever, right? Didn't do much about it. And then like a couple of weeks, I was studying for an exam with Alyssa again, and I get a Snapchat from one of my friends on the dance team, and she was like, hey, there's this guy, Derek, in my class, and he's in my group, my small group, and he thinks you're so attractive, and he wants to know if you're single, all this stuff. Like, I think he's your type. He's Mexican, he plays soccer, and he speaks Spanish. And I knew exactly who she was talking about because I don't know why I knew. I just knew, right? I knew
Yeah.
it was him, and I said, OMG, yes, like, tell him I'm down or whatever.
Yeah.
If it wasn't that guy, would you be like, oh shoot?
Yeah. I would've been like, wait,
abort
never
the
mind.
mission.
No.
Abort the mission.
I was like, wait, never mind. I said, but tell him not to be shy because I'm shy and I don't like shy guys. So then I assumed like after that message, like boom, he would have texted me. No, he didn't. So like a month later.
He had to keep you on your
He
toes.
was playing the
Yes.
game.
Yes.
I'm proud of him.
So a month later, I like posted on my story of me going out with my friends, and he hearted it. No, he swiped up and he put heart eyes. And to be honest, I would have never given the time of day
That was
to
such an
any
ick.
guy. Yeah, I would have never given the time of day to any guy who put hard
Swipes
eyes.
up, and like you have to like swipe up, click the emoji, and then it like sends it. No,
Like in college,
my grandma does that
yeah.
with hearts.
I only
So
gave
cute.
I only gave the time of day to guys who actually said something. Not like, OMG, you look so good. Like, I would, if they said something interesting, I would have been like, that's a different response.
I can't stand the hey, what are you doing? I'm not entertaining you.
What does it look like I'm
like
doing?
literally?
Yeah,
Nothing.
anyways.
Only talk to me if you have something to say.
So he did that, but I knew it was him, so I kind of got excited. So I just went along with it, right?
Mhm.
And then we stopped, and I was like, okay, like, hello, like, why are we not continuing this? Like, I thought you thought I was cute.
Because you left him at a party.
I know. So he was getting me back.
Yeah,
He was.
like a taste of your own medicine. Huh?
Exactly. So then it's December, right? It's December, finals are happening.
Yeah.
I'm at home crying, trying to figure out this final, like, whatever. And I get
Those are some real tears right there. I just
no,
have to say.
literally. And I get a DM again on Instagram from him, and he was like, hey, I'm coming into town this weekend. Like, me and my friends are going to a bar. Would you like to come with us? At this point, I was over boys. I was so done with, like, F boys, and, like, I didn't care. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't have anyone tying me down. And I said, why not? Let me just go on a date. Like,
Yeah.
what can I lose?
What's the worst that can happen?
I said, sure. And I wasn't really expecting it to go to where it's at now.
Wait, that's what kicked it off?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I didn't know that. This is
Yeah.
the first time I'm hearing like really this story.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't expect, like, that first date to go to 3 years later.
Wow.
So he picked me up, and we went.
Gentlemen.
Yeah, he picked me up, and we went to a bar/restaurant with his friends, because it was his graduation weekend. And so I met literally every single one of his best friends that day, and I was like, oh, this is intimidating. Like,
Yeah.
okay. And so we went to this, like, Spanish restaurant. So they all ordered shots, tequila shots, right? And I'm glad they did, because fun fact, guys, if you're on a first date and you just kind of need,
courage.
yeah, and you
Oh.
want to loosen up,
It's
just
For
take a shot.
sure.
for real.
But don't black out. Just don't black out. So as soon as I took that shot, I was like, okay, now I'm confident, right? Now I'm feeling confident. And what's funny is that when we were there, they were playing music that he didn't think I knew, right? And so I started singing it because I was like, oh, I like this song. And he goes, you know this music? And I was like, yeah. And then I think that's when he started falling in love with me.
And the rest is
Yeah.
history.
And then we never stopped talking since. And then when we were talking that entire time, when I saw him in May, I kind of was like, are you wasting my time? Like, can I move
Oh, I
on?
hate a waste of time.
Like, let me know what your plan
Yeah.
is, because, like, I'm not getting any younger, and I have other, like,
Who's the
suitors.
older?
Other suitors is
Different
insane.
process.
So, but he was like, no, like, I really like you. Like, I want to keep going, blah, blah, blah. And with Derek was the first time I ever got the balls to tell a guy to be like, hey, if you don't want this, let me know. Like, I'm a big girl. I'm not going to be
Crumble.
upset.
Yeah.
Like, don't lead me on.
For real.
Like, if you don't want it, let me know. That's it. Like, do not waste my
Good
time.
for you.
And we kept saying that all the way. And sometimes even to this day, I'm kind of like, do you still want to be with me?
Just let me know
Like,
now.
do you
It's
still
not like
want
he
Yes.
moved down here.
No, I know.
It's not like he moved down
So
here.
anyways, and then we got together. He asked me to be his girlfriend in August. And we
So y'all were talking for like 8 months.
Mhm.
Do you feel like that's early? How do we feel like about that timeline?
I think it's longer than usual because we were long distance.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And he was trying to figure out his life at that time, and I was just supporting on the sideline because he was supposed to go to law school, but then that didn't really end up happening. Once he finally got his path straight, then he was like, all right, I'm ready. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like, I was still trying to figure out what I was doing with life too. So we like gave each other space while still working on things on ourselves together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
What was the hardest thing about long distance?
Ooh, I can
I
answer
don't.
this.
I would say that, like, I like long distance because one, I love my space. Like,
It makes you appreciate the time you have together
Yes,
so much more.
I feel like whenever I saw him, I was like, oh my God, I love you so much because I haven't seen you in forever. I missed you so much, blah, blah, blah. Like, spent time together. Then I'm like, all right, go back home. But then, and we wouldn't see each other for like 3 weeks, longest probably a month.
Wow.
And so by that third week, I was getting frustrated. I was like, all right, I need to see you. Like,
So from December to that May, you didn't see him?
mm-mm.
So how was that working for you?
It was like talking stage. So
Okay.
we were
Like-
just like getting to know each other, and then it was kind of like a trial and error too, because for me, like sometimes you never know, guys could just be bullshitting,
Ah,
to be honest.
please don't
And
bullshit
so I
me.
would like test him sometimes, but I would also make myself aware, be like, listen, Amanda, if he doesn't want it, you're gonna be fine, like whatever, you know. So
Yeah.
I would be like, sometimes I kind of would like tell myself, you're just having fun, you're just getting to know each other, this is your pin pal, you know what I mean?
This is
Yeah.
so bad.
But I did like him, so I was like, well, if it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, we move on. That's why and then we started kind of like flirting even more as if we were together, but we weren't, you know what I mean?
yeah.
So I kind of was like, well,
What's the line?
yeah. So then when I did see him, I was like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And so luckily, like, I think he knew that I wasn't a girl to like bullshit with.
And I think so. I've heard advice. One of my favorite teachers. See what I'm talking about? Teachers. She married her high school sweetheart, and I've always asked her like, how does she do long distance? Because they went to 2 universities, and that was back before social media was even a thing. So,
Yeah.
and she just told me, she was like, you know what, like Audie, like, I just told myself that I will continue to meet other people,
Yeah.
and if I find somebody else that like I'm more interested in, like I'll experience that, and like
yeah.
I will get out of my relationship and I would go to that. But like I truthfully didn't find anybody that I liked
Yeah.
more.
For sure.
And I think that's such a true statement. And it's like if you meet someone that you like more than me, then like that's okay. Just let me know.
No, yeah. And that's a good point, because with Derek, like obviously before we even got together, I made sure I weighed my options because I didn't want to settle,
Yeah.
you know? But I wasn't settling because I personally think Derek is very emotionally stable. He comes from a stable family. Like he taught me patience, and I feel like I'd be stupid to not be with him or to go for someone who like gives me anxiety or
Yeah.
like isn't, I have to teach that guy how to be a man
Mhm.
or whatever. So I
Right.
was like, no, like I'm not getting better than this, you know what I mean? He's like the one for me, I think.
How long did y'all wait to say the L word?
Who said it first?
Who said it first and how long was it?
Did
how long
you?
did it take?
You did?
No, it
Amanda.
was not
No,
me.
he
Oh,
did
it-
because he's
oh.
more
It wa-
emotional.
yeah,
He
it
could put
was
2 and 2 together.
Derek.
Come on.
So
I feel like
the
he said
funny,
it early on.
the funny thing is, was like that first date that we went, right, the tequila shot. That next day, he invited me to his graduation party.
Oh.
So
With family?
yeah, no, not family, with his friends. Like it was a house party, like
Mm.
a true on house party. I met every single one of his friends, like guys he would put in as his groomsmen. Yeah.
Love.
And he got drunk. He almost said it to me there, and I said, "Whoa,
Whoa.
I've only known you for like 2 days."
Hold on, slow it down.
But when I saw him in May,
Mm-hmm.
he told me then in May,
In-
before we even became boyfriend and girlfriend.
Oof.
How do we
Oh,
feel about that? Is that
wow.
like too
Oof.
much?
No, because it was already 5 months of talking. Like, if honestly, I've heard the story and I think it's true. Like, guys know if they're gonna date you within like the first
First
month.
month.
Mm-hmm. But Derek is such a like, let's take it slow. Like, let's get to know each other instead of rushing things. And I'm like, okay,
I can
Pretty
I can
simple.
definitely meet somebody and put them into 3 categories automatically.
what are your 3 categories?
Fling.
Friends,
Oh,
fling, and husband.
oh yeah, same.
Like I'm like, yeah, you're in this category. Just by like meeting you, like the first time you, like my first impression of you,
Yeah,
I know how you, like I know how I'm gonna feel about you.
yeah. So, but the way he told me he loved me, and I was like,
Do you say back?
yes.
Aww.
I was like, wait, what?
I love you too.
I know, but the way he asked me to be his girlfriend was not romantic at all.
Was it through like a snap?
He no, he put so much thought into it that it didn't even like go as planned. So
Aw.
Oh,
we
that's
went.
But where were y'all?
We went to Dallas. Yeah, me and him. We went to Dallas for a music festival, and his brother lived in Fort Worth, so I met his brother that night, and he wanted to go to dinner, and he was gonna ask me at dinner. But then we like just spent so much time with his brother that like by the time we were done and we were so tired, we went back to the hotel room, and I was like getting ready to like take a shower or whatever, and he was just in the like crevices of the between the hotel room and the shower or the bathroom, and he was like, I've been trying all day to find the perfect time to ask you to be my girlfriend, but there wasn't a time, so like, can you be my girlfriend? And I was like, I'm literally like,
Sure.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, so romantic.
Yeah.
That's kind of cute though.
But so
yeah.
what you're saying is that hopefully for an engagement, like it goes right.
No, yeah, I'm like, do not just ask me like,
Hey, you want to marry me?
Literally.
I've been trying to
Here's your
find the
ring.
right time.
I know.
If you're comfortable sharing, can you share how many boyfriends you had?
Boyfriends, as in people that I consider, like, that I think.
Sure.
Like as like a relationship.
Okay, yeah. I would
Shine my
say,
face.
Oh my bad.
including Derek, if I'm being completely honest, I would say like 3.
Okay.
And one of them wasn't really a boyfriend. You know what I mean? Like, he never met my family. It was like a situationship, but that was like very serious. So it's kind of weird.
What's your advice of like not losing your morals and values
Oh,
going
yeah.
into college, meeting new people, meeting you guys, like that kind of thing?
I feel like I'm wise when it comes to being in a relationship because I've gone through like
Oh,
the trials and tribulations.
Ebbs and flows.
Yeah, so which I'm glad that I did at a young age because now I know what I want and what I like. I'm not going through that toxic relationship at an old age and
Yeah.
having children involved in it and all
Yeah.
that stuff. But going into college, like, I would say not to have a boyfriend at the first couple of years,
years? Oh my gosh.
maybe even the entire time. It depends. I don't know because one, like, it depends on who you are. Like for me, I love just experiencing life, and I feel like a lot of guys are insecure.
Yeah, I feel like they're not looking to settle down.
No, they're not, but they want someone. They
Yeah.
think they are. I would say one thing that I've learned from every single relationship is communication.
Mm-hmm.
My communication is at its best right now with the relationship I have.
Yes, good. Oh my goodness. I told this guy, I was like, you're a great communicator.
Yeah.
Like, you make an effort, you communicate your feelings, you don't hold back.
Yeah.
Like, it's so nice not thinking of, like, well, what is he thinking? How is he feeling? Like,
Right.
he's so straight up with me, and I appreciate that because I'm
Yeah.
like, I know how you feel because you're opened.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
and it has to do with pride. Everyone has such a big pride and big ego, and they don't want to
Mhm.
get their ego hurt or pride hurt. So no one likes to communicate properly because they're scared of how they're gonna feel. When who cares?
Yeah.
And like sometimes whenever me and Derek like argue, not even argue, just kind of have differences on a certain thing, I would rather stop talking first just to like get my thoughts because I'm like sometimes he'll say something and he goes, "How do you feel about this?" And I'm like, "I don't know how I feel about this yet. Actually, like let me think about it and be like,
Yeah.
am I upset or am I like not really?"
Yeah.
So like the thing about Derek is that he's so patient. He goes, "Well, I'm gonna stay here and wait till you like are ready to talk about it. I'm not gonna just ghost you or whatever." And I'm like, I love that.
I think another good measure too, and Amanda brought it up earlier, is that if you notice that each other bring out the best in one
Yeah.
another, I definitely, as like more of a familial perspective, have seen a drastic change in Amanda's personality and just the person that she is and has grown so much over the time that she really's known Derek,
Yeah.
and that has helped her like heal internally and been able to have better relationships with all of us and I think everyone in her entire
Yeah.
life.
No, I agree because I remember having the thought when I first started dating Derek and meeting his family is like, well, I'm not going to be the one to fuck this up. So I need to work on myself, as in go to therapy and work on the things that I need to work on in
Yeah.
order for us to have a healthy relationship.
It's also so hard not to self-sabotage.
No, I know.
Because like I'm definitely in a state where I'm like, oh, like I want this, like I want to see where this goes, like that kind of thing. But I'm also like, this is too good to be true. Like when is like the shoe gonna drop?
Oh, I
Like,
know.
I feel like I'm like waiting for like the egg to fall on my face. And
Oh,
I'm like,
I agree.
no, like
But-
there's no way it's going this good.
For the longest time, I was like, "What's your flaw, Derek?
Yeah,
like, I need
come
to
on,
find your
man.
red flag." And the red flag he has he has 2. He's a
All
pick-
right,
He's a
air out his laundry.
He's a picky eater.
Yes,
I'm
picky
like,
eaters.
girl,
Yeah.
why can we not go to sushi and like? Well, now he's actually starting to eat sushi.
Okay.
2, I am starting to not starting to, but now he's very stubborn. But it
Hey.
could be a strength because he can be so stubborn too. He gets to what he wants, whether it's like in life or anything.
And
Yeah.
you won't deter from his values, I think,
Yeah,
too.
but also sometimes I'm like, okay, relax. We don't need to be so stubborn about that.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
crazy.
So, we talked about looking for rings.
Wow.
Yeah, we've talked about looking for rings.
Wait, like
soon.
you talked about going to look, or you've looked for rings together?
Well, I personally have looked for rings.
Yeah.
But me and him have we have talked about starting to plan for that step of life.
Wow.
It's not going to be soon. Everyone keeps saying.
No.
All of y'all.
I just love love. And I like seeing people happy. I like seeing people
We need
in
to
love.
cry again.
We need to cry, Nina. We need to like
We need to cry
we need a
again.
good
What
cry.
is up with the baby?
Oh my God.
We get that part of each other, but like I'm ready for a wedding that
That's
I'm gonna get to
great.
stand in. Woo woo.
Oh
No, I
my
already know
God.
how Amanda's gonna go. She won't get married, won't get engaged until like I want to say I'm gonna give it 2 years.
2 years.
I'm about to be 25. Yeah.
I'm
I
gonna
would
give
say
it
2
2
years.
years, but then she's gonna get engaged, and the wedding's not gonna be anytime soon.
I'd probably be a year after I get
Yep.
engaged.
Well, you need time to plan.
Audie.
She's pissed.
You always need time
Do
to
you
plan.
want to be in school or do you want to be out of school? I think it would be
What
better
if you
if you were
have a
out of school.
boyfriend?
Nina has to be 18
What if you
because then
have-
she can't go
I'm
to the
ready to get
bachelorette.
married.
What if you have a +1 to her wedding?
Mm-mm.
What if y'all both have +1s to her wedding?
That's crazy.
I'm taking
Really?
some,
I-
I'm so ready to like settle down.
That's
Yes,
because me
that's
and Derek, like, we
crazy.
take things into consideration. Like, his older brother, just got engaged. I'm at that stage in life where I have no single friends. All of my friends are in relationships.
But they're engaged.
They're not engaged, except for one. One's married. Actually, two's married. Two are married.
Huh?
But my best friends, Lauren and Alyssa,
They have
both
relationships.
they both have told me that they're gonna get engaged this year. I want each of us to have our moment. I do.
I get
not
that.
That's
want
true.
Because you know how much money that is. Like, oh my
But do you
gosh.
also know it is such a big difference in the way you party, so to speak, when you're partying with people who are dating somebody and partying with people who are single.
Yes, because all
And-
my friends are booed up, and it's so hard for me to like
Well, yeah,
attract single guys.
you gotta
because
go
they're
with single
all,
girls.
They're all booed
Yeah,
up.
But
you
then
do.
also on your side, like you're in a committed relationship, so being around girls who are in committed, like it's good for you. It's healthy to be around them
Yeah,
because
just
y'all
the
don't
girls.
allow each other to like get stupid.
Oh,
Like
I
you're like,
know.
hello,
Yeah.
bring it down a notch.
No. Yeah. We're not even. I mean, like,
Y'all don't club anymore.
listen. Me
Y'all
and
don't
Derek went
club.
out last weekend and we got so drunk.
Y'all
But it's
sitting
you
or
and
y'all
Derek.
standing?
We
My
were
goodness.
standing. We were going like this.
But I'm saying, but I'm
Okay.
saying, like when you go out with your girls, you lounge. You don't like
Get-
club.
Yeah, because I feel like with my alcohol, like I cannot hold it
You're
down.
getting
And I
older.
hate feeling like that the next day. It ruins my whole day. So I'm like, I would rather not.
Yeah,
Moderation. Everything in moderation.
everything in moderation.
Well, and that being
Good
said,
advice.
But then we have Alex over here, like, you're only on your first one.
She's crazy.
no, Well, I'm young
Crazy.
still. I will say,
I can't do
okay,
that.
everything in moderation. We need to
Always.
save more conversation for the next episodes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to close it down right now. And well, what you can expect more is just hearing more our lives and our different angles. So
Just like this.
yeah,
We're just gonna
like
sit and
this,
chat and just
sit and chat.
ask each other questions and just kind of like
Yeah.
feed off of each other. And we grew up with really similar, well, very similar values and
Yeah.
morals and
Right.
expectations. So it's nice to be around people that have walked different lives, but coming from the same family.
Have different perspectives. Yeah.
And we kind of want to hear from y'all too. Like, y'all have questions,
Mm-hmm.
ask us. Or like if you got fun memories that y'all want to share. I mean, I'm sure our family's going to watch this. So
yeah.
they're going to have stuff to say always.
Of course.
But
I'm
I'm
sure.
curious to see what other people like have to say and
Yeah.
stuff.
And in
Yeah.
future episodes, we might bring in some of our other family or other different people
Guests.
in our
Lives.
lives just
Yeah.
for them to give you their perspectives too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for
Thanks.
watching.
Thanks.
Follow, watch, like, heart, comment,
All the things.
all the stuff.
All the above. Give us some love.
Yes. All
I'm
right.
gonna watch Love
Love you
Island.
guys.
Love y'all.
Bye.
Bye.